Vi hørte her låta Last, hentet fra Kreators nye skive Cause for Conflict. Og i den forbindelse har vi slått av en prat med gitarist og vokalist Mille Petrozza. And Mille, you're now out with your 7th album named Cause for Conflict. And your last album, Renewal, was very experimental, and this time I was also waiting maybe a bit even more experimental album, but this didn't happen.
People would have expected us to play more experimental, but you always expect the unexpected with Kreator. We don't do what people expect from us, and the thing is, like on this new record, we felt very aggressive about a lot of things that pissed us off in the past. So we felt that 1995 is the time for Kreator to write a very aggressive album, and very powerful, very brutal, you know.
To me, this one may be compared to Extreme Aggression.
Oh yeah, thanks. What I would sum it up like it's a mix between Extreme Aggression's Pleasure to Kill. When you look at the arrangement of the songs, it's more like Pleasure to Kill. The aggression is very much like the Extreme Aggression album, and the voice and the vibe is very much like Renewal, but in a better, like with a very updated sound.
And what do you in fact think of Renewal compared to this one?
I think it has Cause for Conflict has a way better production than Renewal. I think that was something that was lacking on Renewal, was the production. But I like a lot of the songs on Renewal, but this album was definitely more aggressive and more powerful than the previous one.
But that doesn't mean you are a bit disappointed about Renewal?
No, not really. I mean, it was an album that we had to do at the time to do Cause for Conflict. It was a necessary step in our career. Just on the musical side, we needed to progress in different directions and add something to our sound. And I think that's what we did on Renewal, and we extended that version of Kreator on Cause for Conflict.
In fact, there's no lyrics included in this promotion box, but out of the song titles, I think you're still society-minded, right?
Oh yeah, we're trying to put a lot of personal experience that we have, that we had on the last 3 years, like because we're able to travel all around the world and play in front of a whole in a lot of different countries. We get impressions of the culture of certain cultures that we wouldn't have had if we wouldn't be in the band. So especially like going to places like Brazil, going to places like Australia and Japan gives you a different look on things. You get to see complete different way of life and different mentalities, and that really influences the lyrics a lot. We put a lot of personal experience in the lyrics.
Earlier you also sing about pollution and so on.
Yeah, but that was back then.
Okay.
Nowadays, I don't think it's a little dated to sing about the ozone layer or fucking air pollution. I mean, a lot of people did that. We did it in '87. I mean, that was a different time back then. I think we were one of the first bands that put environmental awareness in lyrics, and I think nowadays there's different problems and different attitude towards lyrics. The lyrics are way more aggressive, way more pissed off than they were on let's say Renewal or older material. And I think we had to move ahead. We're living in the 90s, and the 90s have a lot. The way of life in the 1990s is a lot different than it was in the 80s, and we're always looking ahead, and we always try to be very much on top of things to come. So we never we don't live in the past. We live in we could try to go ahead and try to come up with new things.
But back to the album, you have a new lineup this time.
Yes.
And what exactly happened to Rob and Ventor?
Ventor's like he lost interest a little bit. He wasn't able to progress and not willing either. He wasn't. He just wouldn't put 100% in the band anymore. It was just, I don't know. No more energy left. No. It was kind of weird. I mean, I played with the guy for 12 years. It wasn't a nice thing to happen, but sometimes it's bad for a band to have to change members. But this time, I think, especially with Joe on the drums and Christian on the bass. I mean, Joe is an incredible musician, and he puts so much new, fresh energy in the music that I don't really miss Ventor that much.
Okay. Does that mean that these guys were kicked out of the band? Or?
Yes, kind of.
I know Joe has been recording with Whiplash, but what about Christian?
Christian hasn't played in any band that ever recorded albums. He's played in bands that recorded demo tapes. Yeah, he was still like the main guy in his old band. And I think that he was the main songwriter, and he's a very good musician as well. Very, very talented.
But back to the original lineup. This is the first Kreator album without these guys, and if we say that the studio work earlier became a kind of routine,
yes.
Did you find the studio work more problematic this time?
No, not really. I mean, it was very exciting to go into the studio and work with different people at first of all, and then I found out that it's not really like having people that are like Joey is very experienced. He recorded albums before. Christian, he was very hungry for doing things, and but they were all so excited, and that really made us excited as well. So their positive energy towards things kind of projected on the whole band, and we're like we wrote the album with a whole different attitude than before. It was kind of like a new band in a way,
This is also the first Kreator album ever not to be released on Noise International.
I'm so happy that we're not released on Noise International, I can tell you.
Oh?
It's just, I don't know, they're not as good as they used to be. They're not as supportive as they used to be. And we're so happy that they're not, that we're off that record label, seriously.
But what do you find the biggest difference of these labels? I mean, here in Norway, I don't know if Gun have any distribution at all.
Yes, they do. They have House of Kicks, I think.
Okay.
And yeah, I think it's way better to be on Off Noise Records because so especially since we're able to work like the budget for our recordings. Noise Records wouldn't give us money to go into good studios. They wouldn't give us money to do good videos and all that stuff. And we had to fight for everything that we wanted. And that was a situation that we couldn't deal with anymore. We wanted to have a record label that's 100% behind the band and not trying to save money on this and that or this, that kind of sucked. And we were not happy with the situation at all anymore. So now we're back with a fresh label and people that really know how to work this band. And also, Gun has a BMG distribution, and that means that we can work with a lot more, like we get more money, not only for us, but for putting, like we don't need money to buy a big house or buy a car or anything. We need money to put it back into the band to make a good record and a good video and everything, So, that's very important for us.
What about the promotion of this album? Any concrete plans for touring?
Yes, we're gonna come to Scandinavia in August. October.
Okay.
October.
And does that mean you are coming to Norway as well?
I hope so, yes.
Hmm.
Definitely.
Hmm. Also, this time I think you're making a video, right?
Yes, we're going to do one for Lost.
And talking about videos, I know one of your earlier videos, originally was meant for a movie.
Yes, not really. No, we're like planning on writing a movie soundtrack, but it didn't happen.
Okay. Being a Kreator fan for years, I would now like you to pick out each Kreator album and tell me what you think of them today.
See, Endless Pain was more like a naive, powerful, first 17-year-old kid thrash metal album. And we're all pretty young, and we're excited about being in the studio itself. So it has this naive energy to it, you know, very, very raw. Then we did Pleasure to Kill, which was kind of like a very chaotic, brutal death metal influenced dark album. Pleasure to Kill was very much influenced by bands like Possessed and early Hellhammer and Celtic Frost stuff. And then we did Terrible Certainty, where we were the first time we worked with an English producer, and I think Terrible Certainty was the most technical album, and the complexity of the song is very, very strong. And the next album was Extreme Aggressions, was our first album that we did in the United States of America, which is for the first time we had the opportunity to work with the top producer and top equipment in the greatest studios possible. After that, we did Coma of Souls, which is very melodic and a step beyond the Extreme Aggression album. And from there, we went to Renewal, which is a very experimental kind of album. And yeah, now we're here with Cause for Conflict.
And talking about maybe you have recorded an album with your side project, Voodoo Cult.
Yes.
Are there any future plans for this project?
No. I think that's over.
Okay.
I mean, Dave doesn't play with them anymore. Valdemar as well. Nobody. I mean, it's over.
But it's an interesting album.
Oh, thanks.
Okay, Mille. I think that's the most important talk. Is there anything more you want to add?
Yeah, I just want to say that all the Kreator fans are going to like the new album, and hopefully we'll see you on tour.
And before I let you go, I want you to pick out a track for us to play and maybe tell why you pick out that particular song.
This is the song that we're shooting a video for next week. It's a song about the situation in the 1990s. It's about being corrupt and living in 95.